ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Power Vacuum. I'm your host, Belmont, and today I'm coming at you with a little bit of spice out of the land of Ubisoft. In the ever-present and never-ending talks of a buyout for yet another AAA company, we have been given an update. Ubisoft shareholders and talks over possible buyout terms, sources say. Reuters is reporting. Shareholders of Ubisoft Entertainment are considering how to structure a possible buyout of the Assassin's Creed video game maker without reducing the founding family's control. Two people familiar with the matter told Reuters. Oh, I'm so sick of anonymous sources. I guess they need to, be kept secret right now. I don't know. The Guillemot family, which is the largest and founding shareholder, has been in talks with Tencent and other investors in recent weeks about funding a management-led buyout of France's largest video games maker, the people said, speaking on condition of anonymity. There it is, right there. Yeah, we can't let you know who we are. However, the Guillemot family has indicated it would like to retain the control it has over the company, which also makes the Just Dance, Far Cry, and Tom Clancy's video game series as part of a deal, the people said. What an interesting list. Like Just Dance, Far Cry, Tom Clancy, Assassin's Creed. Like, that's a pretty... It's like, what do you got? Hip music game, first-person shooter, third-person action-adventure. When Tom Clancy's and Far Cry, their first-person shooters are their best games. Interesting. Well, some people would say Just Dance, but... they're not here. Tencent, currently the second largest shareholder in Ubisoft's and China's biggest social network and gaming firm, has yet to decide whether to participate in the buyout and increase its stake in the company, one of the people said. This is partly because it has asked for a greater say on future board decisions, including cash flow distribution in return for financing the deal, which has been agreed upon with the Guillemot family. Discussions between two parties are ongoing as Tencent also wants to prevent any potential hostile takeover of Ubisoft by other investors, adding that Tencent's plan is to remain patient and wait for the founding family to agree to the deal. Interesting. It's like, we want to do a hostile takeover, but we don't want anybody else to ever do a hostile takeover again. So you need to, use your lawyers to make sure that only we're allowed to take over your company. That's fucking Chinese-run government companies for you, because that's what Tencent is. If you're a major company in China, you are run by the Chinese government. That's just how their system works. So this is the Chinese government trying to get a piece of a French company right here. It's basically what this boils down to. Tencent may opt not to increase its stake in Ubisoft, as it considers its current direct holding of almost 10% in Ubisoft sufficient for maintaining its gaming business cooperation with the company. Tencent declined to comment. A representative of the Guillemot family did not respond to a request for comment. Interesting that Tencent responded, but the actual founders of Ubisoft didn't. We remain committed to making decisions in the best interest of all our stakeholders, a spokesperson for Ubisoft said. In this context, as we have already indicated, the company is also reviewing all its strategic options. This is an old quote from Frederick I can't pronounce his last name. The CFO said this the last time they were talking about the buyout, and he stated that the buyout was going to be for non-core assets, which means not Ubisoft, or not Ubisoft. I mean, it means not Assassin's Creed, not Far Cry, not Just Dance, not Tom Clancy. Pretty much the things they named are what the buyout wouldn't have access to. They would have access to all the other properties, like the failing Defiant game. In October, Ubisoft said that it regularly reviewed all its strategic options but declined further comment on a report of buyout interest. Yeah, so that's the where that quote that I just said came from Frederick. Shares in Ubisoft rose as much as 16% after the Reuters report. Its shares were trading up 12.1% at 13.2 euros by 1445 hours GMT. The buyout talks come as some minority shareholders, including AJ Investments, have been pushing for either a take private or a sale of Ubisoft to a strategic investor amid the stock price plunge, Reuters previously reported. Okay, so I guess it fell, then they reported about the buyout, and then it shut up when people thought maybe somebody else would be in charge. That's very telling for how the market views Ubisoft being run right now. That if a report of a potential buyout increases, momentum and stock price, your company is not doing well. And that means that the people who are, buying and trading stocks do not have faith in current management. The company's shares fell to their lowest level in the last decade in September after it cut its outlook on weaker than expected sales and postponed the launch of Assassin's Creed Shadows title. This week, it announced it would discontinue development of its gaming title Defiant and, as a consequence, close its production studios in San Francisco and Osaka and ramp down production in Sydney. What? I missed this announcement. I'm going to open that. We're going to go to that in a minute. Damn it. Get a spike. Slow down. Oh, stop that. Ubisoft is run by the Guillemot family, which owns 15% of the firm, followed by Tencent, which owns just under 10%. I wonder if that's a choice. According to LSEG data, the family held about a 20.5% of Ubisoft's net voting rights, which Tencent owned 9.2% as of the end of April, as per the firm's latest annual report. There you go. So the buyout's being held, and it sounds like it's most likely because Tencent, one, they want more control. They also probably want all those non-core assets. They want the core assets as well as the non-core assets. Because what's the point of doing a buyout of a company if you're not getting the stuff that makes that bread and butter? Right? Like, there's no use in that. Now let's read this report that I missed. Ubisoft pulls the plug on Defiant to close San Francisco and Osaka studios. Fucking hate these ads. They need to bring back good ad blockers. I'll have to look into that. France's largest video game maker, Ubisoft, has decided to discontinue development on Defiant, its free-to-play first-person shooter title, it said on Wednesday. As a result, Ubisoft will close its San Francisco and Osaka production studios and ramp down production in Sydney, leading to a loss of 143 jobs in San Fran and a likely reduction of 134 people in Osaka and Sydney. Wait, 134 combined or 134 each? Because those are two very tremendous different things. Like, that's a huge difference. That's a difference of we're cutting 134 people or 168. Like we're either getting rid of a combined 177 employees or a combined, or not 177, fuck, I can't do math. A combined 277 or a combined 300 and, look at 17. That's a big difference. The decision follows a thorough review of the game's performance, profitability, and market conditions, and aligns with the company's increased selectivity in its R&D investment, Ubisoft said in a statement. Season 3 of Defiant will still launch and servers will remain active until July 3rd, 2025. It is said that although Defiant generated initial excitement, it did not retain a large enough player base to establish it as a viable competitor to other free-to-play first-person shooter titles or to support Ubisoft's continued investment. Yeah, that's because they're focused on that money-making. The cancellation of the project shows how tough the shooter market is, where it is difficult to break through among strong IPs that have dominated the segment for years. Ubisoft said it would apply the lessons learned from Defiant to its future free-to-play titles, as in, we're not going to have any future free-to-play titles. The French group has been plagued by delays and the underperformance of some key titles, like Star Wars Outlaw, which lags expectations after its launch, shares have half of their value so far this year. Oh, hey, it's more because Outlaw failed to fail. If Assassin's Creed fail, that's big failures in a row. If they weren't a AAA, if they were like an indie dev, that's it. They're gone. Never fund their games again to exclusively crowd. If they could even keep it open and keep their employees supported, because they probably wouldn't be able to pay them. You afford to play their players because they're employees, because they're fucking a bunch of them. Put upwards of 300, 400. At math, 417 possible employees. I said 317 earlier. I meant because it's almost 300. These two things. It's 177. I did it again. Damn, I'm having a bad night when it comes to doing. I need a fucking juice brain or something. Hit some nootropics up. But that's wild. They're closing those studios. Just that announcement. Then again, I don't really pay that much attention. And it's they're in talks with and why Tencent holding off, because Tencent Assassin's Creed Shadow Defense, and then they can swoop in when the stock further and just buy their way into a majority. Well, I guess the FCC might. Well, it's a French traded company. I don't know if that. The FCC doesn't. FTC. Man, I am screwing everything up tonight. That should probably be. Get the hell off the computer, the internet right now. But buyout talks, Ubisoft closing a bunch of stuff. Ubisoft about to be Ubi broke. That's my thumbnail. And that's where I'm going to end my video. Well, that's all I have for it. Belmont out.